Oke, jumpa lagi dengan kita di sini, Perpustakaan Amirullah STIP Jakarta. Buat lebih nyaman, saya buka dulu aja.
Oke.
Kan kita udah booster ya,
Ya.
insya Allah aman. Kali ini saya ditemani sama salah satu alumni STIP. Untuk lebih jelasnya langsung kenalan sendiri ya. Oke, silakan, feel free.
Halo, selamat sore. Nama saya Angga Lutfi. Saya alumni AIP PLAP STIP angkatan 50. Kebetulan saya itu masuk di tahun 2007. Kemudian saya lulus di tahun 2011 dan praktek laut saya itu di Anthony Feeder dari tahun 2009 sampai tahun 2010. Jadi memang pas kemarin 4 tahun ya sini.
Sampai 2010.
2009 saya naik September di Coronel Pora, kapalnya
Saya
Mistress.
sangat
Kemudian
memorable.
sampai dengan September 2011.
Ah.
Sorry 2010, jadi setahun.
Ya, great. Jadi teman-teman yang bisa praktek di kapal Anthony Feeder itu adalah mereka taruna yang kualifikasinya bagus. Nah, kebetulan nih hari ini kita dapat tamu, Bapak Angga, bukan Kapten Angga sayangnya, Bapak Angga saja. Setelah dari Anthony Feeder itu, setelah lulus dari STIP itu langsung masuk lagi ke Anthony Feeder.
Ya, jadi setelah lulus saya alhamdulillah langsung di hire sebagai mualim 3 ya, third officer di
Langsung.
Anthony Feeder. Ya,
Oke.
karena memang saya permintaan langsung ke Anthony Feeder dan alhamdulillah di approve oleh mereka. Tapi memang itu memang balik lagi dari how we perform pada saat apprenticeship. Betul.
And then you can get the position. You could get the position because you were good while you were in the apprentice time.
Yeah, because we gain the trust
You get a trust
from the company.
Because you were a qualified apprentice at that time ya.
Yeah, so
Very good. Jadi itu salah satu tipsnya ketika kita mau melakukan praktek laut di kapal. Jadi tunjukkanlah semua effort ya, supaya semua skill, semua kemampuan. Jadi kita bisa mendapat penilaian bagus dari perusahaan ya,
betul.
dan karir cepat naik.
Ya betul, karena saya yakin apprenticeship itu adalah momen dimana kita bisa menilai diri kita sendiri, itu yang paling terpenting, dan juga kita juga bisa dinilai oleh employer pastinya kalau di momen ini adalah Anthony Feeder. Jadi di saat kita bisa gain the trust from them, so we supposed to have I will say an easy life after we graduate from the schools, because that's very important. Because now it's very very difficult for a fresh graduate to find an employment, unfortunately. But if we are able to show ourselves to be competent during our apprenticeships, it's pretty sure that it will be seen by the company, not only seen but also noticed by the company. So you are also going to have a decent employment after you graduate straight away. That's very important.
Oh, great. So that's a very great suggestion for young cadets ya. May I know what is the tips from your good side? What is the tips for the cadets who will join the apprenticeship?
Alright, so for those who are going to have your apprenticeships, it is very important to know yourself and then to also understand your capability, because when you are on board the ships, so it's basically the first step for you as a cadet to have a real employment on your life, to really have really work on board the ships. However, we also need to notice that as an apprentice, your main responsibility is to finish your training cookbook. So that is very important.
Yeah.
That's basically your responsibility. But at the same time, you also need to assist all the people on board as per your capacity. If you are a deck officer, you need to report to your mentor, which is the chief mate. And then if you are an engineer, so you need to report to your second engineer as your mentor. And then try to build very positive communications with both with the chief mate or with the second engineers, and then also having a continual improvement from time to time, because basically 365 days is a long period
Indeed.
indeed, but if you enjoy your work on board the ship, if you enjoy your moment, it should be very short period, because basically only during the apprenticeship that's the moment when you can't I would say do a mistake, learn from that, make it as a lesson learned,
Mhm.
and then when you graduate and you become an officer on watch or engine of watch, it's very difficult to you to make another mistake, because
Yes.
that's where you are having your real responsibility on board as an officers.
Oh, nice, right? Yeah, very good. So seems that you got your dream already. Yeah. So it's what you want, right?
Yeah, before I really wanted to become a master, because that's for sure. If for all deck apprentices, if somebody asking you what you are going to be, you are going to become a captain. So that's basically I'm also going to become a captain before, but when times changes, it's a different moment, different story. So I only be at the level as a second mate before, and then after that I have my short assignments, and then now I'm working ashore.
Okay. So how long then you got your sea time so far?
If it's been combined by the apprenticeships, it started from 2009 and then till 2014, so it's like it's short period only. 5
Oh,
years.
very short then. You
5
can
years.
get this position. Okay, very good. May I know why at the very beginning you want to be a seafarer? Do you want to be like now?
Yeah, the first is because of that the history of the family. Because also my father
okay,
also a seafarer.
okay,
He's an engineer.
Okay.
So he gave me the motivations that if you are going to have a good life, so maybe you can try to be like me. So maybe I will think about that, because before I really don't have an ambition to become a seafarer. I am going to become a doctor.
Okay. Wow. Yes.
But when I see that, okay, I think it's a good. It is not bad if I am trying myself to become a seafarer, and then to be a leader on board the ship. So that's the reason why I choose
Wow.
nautical department.
Actually, it's a very radical changes. Yeah.
Indeed,
A doctor and a seafarer.
indeed. Yeah.
Though both are very very important and they're very hard to do, but seafaring is something that very challenging, and I believe that actually you can be a doctor if at the time you try to come to the university. But may I know then, what is the most difficult thing to do while you were an apprentice?
Right. The most difficult thing to do is to control your motivations. That's very important, because 1 year it's quite long periods, especially when you are living far from your family for the first time ever in your life. So it's also very difficult. I can feel that. So it's very important to know exactly how you think yourself, how you can keep your motivations, maintain it up to the high level, because it's a very jumping period, especially when we are approaching the end of our apprenticeships. I get not a complaint, but feedback from our senior officer that you need to keep your motivation high, put it on the high bar. But at the time it's so fatigue.
So fatigued.
So also another tips for everyone here to try to find a way how you can keep your motivations in a very stable, or keep it in the high level. There's a lot of way to do, like if you are having a hobby, to read a book, or to maintain communication with the people at home, because before there was no any communications.
No. Yes.
No communication.
Yes,
It's
very
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 difficult,
limited.
very limited. But now when you have your easy access to contact your family, maybe that's also one of the way how you can keep your motivations.
Okay, so people now see that though you were a graduate from STIP, then doesn't mean that you were seafaring, because now you are a CEO of a certain shipping company, and it's something, yeah. So you prove to anyone else, everybody, that this school can be can produce someone to be CEO like you in a very young age. Yeah. So can you tell me about what is the tips actually, or what is the strategy to struggling the world, seafaring world.
You're right. So, what you are saying that is right. That this school is an open door for everything that you are going to achieve, basically. So, not limited only to conquer the world by sailing on board the ships, but also you can also conquer the world when you are also working ashore. So, you are right that for me, basically, that the very fundamental things, if you would like to be a success, is you need to be honest.
Okay,
So
that's a key.
that is also very important, to be honest. And then everyone making mistake. For me, if I see someone making mistake, is there is no any problem at all. But I will get mad if I see someone making a mistake but never learn from that mistake. So try to use everything in your life as a lesson learned. Try to have a continual improvement for your life. So that's also very important. So whenever you think that you are already in the top positions and then you think that you are already great, so for me personally, that's the moment that you fail. So there is no room for you to improve yourself. So very important to be honest. Always do everything as a lesson learned, and then be humble, down to earth, because basically attitude is also number one. If competence, we can't, as we are having here, we are having a lot of books. You can read a lot of books to be a very smart guy, but you cannot read the books to be having a good attitude.
Yes, correct. Ya, duh menarik banget ya ngobrol sama si Angga gitu ya, Bapak Angga hari ini. Karena apa? Yang dia sampaikan tuh banyak banget yang sebetulnya memang diperlukan oleh nggak cuma pelaut sih. Kita semua di dunia kerja butuh itu ya. Motivasi yang tinggi, kemudian juga kejujuran, terus improvement yang terus menerus dilakukan. Nggak cuman dari sisi pelaut, even saya juga butuh gitu ya untuk ada self improvement ya. Nah, kalau according to you, what is this school? What does it need? Maybe it needs another improvement in the system or in the curriculum. Karena apa? Karena saya lihat kan Pak Angga itu sudah menjadi seorang CEO, sudah bisa melihat it is what I need, it is what I need, that's what I don't need it, ya. So apa yang sebetulnya dimaui oleh sebuah perusahaan pelayaran yang multinational?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, the school is great. We are having very good infrastructures already. We have all the simulators that what we need basically when we are on board the ships to be practiced by every people here. So basically, in the fundamental things in terms of infrastructures, we are great. We are great.
Okay.
However, as I mentioned before, that we need to have a continual improvements to make everything as a lesson learned, to see outside the world or the other part of the world what need to be had to make an improvements. So basically, what the schools need to see is basically something outside the school itself. So you can see that, okay, I need to improve this, how we can adapt in the real or current operations on board the ships, because we are producing a future officer, I will say future officer and future engineers, we just need to really in line with what being expected by the ship owners. So maybe in terms of having someone to be on board or to sail with the owner, with the ship owners now, or the lecturers to be on board there is also very important to see really what really happening on board, and then what really the industry need in view of that human resources capitals, because human resources for me personally could not be replaced by anything. If we are talking about technology 4.0 or 5.0, it's great, we need to adapt on that. But if you are talking about human think, human touch, it will never be replaced by anything. So indeed, still cadet all of you as a future officer, you are the one who really become an investment by this industry.
Wow, great. So you want to say that the personal touch is still very important here, especially in the education. We cannot replace teacher by gadget, by computer. So we have to meet each other and engage. So is there anything that you want to say about cadets nowadays? Yeah, about the cadets' behavior today. Is there any differences with in your period?
Right. Maybe also because of the situations nowadays in the past years with the pandemic. I believe that not only cadet but also everyone in the world are having that difficulties, having the challenge. So basically, as a cadet, you also need to adapt with the situations. But as I mentioned in the very beginning, that an attitude is very important. It's having very essential role beside the competency as well. So it's basically to be balanced in between attitudes and also your competence. If you can manage yourself to become a good person, and also by having smart or knowledge, so I believe that it's an open door for every ship owner to be able to hire you.
Okay, thank you. It is a personal, yeah. Maybe I want to know about your experience while you were a cadet. Ya, jadi saya mau tanya sama Pak Angga secara personal, apa sih yang Pak Angga lakukan waktu dia masih taruna dulu gitu. Saya dengar kalau taruna itu memang banyak yang suka ngantuk ya. Capek banget gitu ketika dia harus duduk kemudian di meja di kursi dan dia mendapati meja kosong, biasanya tiba-tiba kepala lunglai gitu, set tidur di atas meja kepala ini. Pernah nggak mengalami tidur di dalam kelas saat ada dosen?
Jujur kalau untuk perihal ngantuk pasti pernah.
Tidur nggak?
Kalau tidur nggak?
Itu yang saya dengar.
Kalau ngantuk, iya.
Jadi dia ini taruna yang nggak pernah tidur di kelas. Kadang-kadang kita juga ya maklum gitu ya, kalau lagi ngajar terus taruna set hilang gitu, wajar banget. Banyak kan kesibukannya ya. Ikut drum band nggak dulu?
Saya dulu ikut pedang pora.
Oh, ikut pedang pora. Jadi Pak Angga itu menurut dosen-dosen dia itu anaknya nggak pernah ngantuk loh, nggak pernah tidur di kelas. Oke, bagus gitu ya. Bisa mengatur ritme gitu, kapan harus melek, kapan harus merem ya.
Harus dipaksakan. Harus dipaksakan.
Benar ya?
That's the only way. Iya, harus dipaksakan. Harus dipaksakan dalam artian ya, kalau melihat teman-teman tidur ya jadikan itu sebagai motivasi. Kalau itu ada kesempatan di mana ya di saat orang tidur berarti kan dia tidak bisa menangkap pelajaran. Kalau kita bisa mengambil kesempatan itu dengan dalam hal yang pasti dengan hal yang positif ya. Dan to make it as an opportunity for you to grow yourself, it's very important. So it need to be forced, harus dipaksakan. Itu aja kuncinya.
Aduh berat ya. Padahal kalau lagi ngantuk dipaksa melek bisa pusing kan, Pak Angga?
Iya, nanti di saat memang nanti ada momen harus istirahat ya istirahatlah gitu loh. Jangan menggunakan momen istirahat untuk bermain, dan di saat harus belajar ini harus tidur kan, seperti itu. Terkadang banyak yang di saat sudah dikasih waktu untuk istirahat malah bermain kan, seperti itu. Di saat harus belajar malah tidur, jadi kan kebalik. Jadi jangan tempatkanlah sesuai dengan porsinya masing-masing.
Oh gitu. Iya. Jadi semuanya ada tempatnya, semua ada waktunya, ada porsinya.
Time management.
Time management. Sampai saat ini harus ada time management.
Oh,
ya?
itu pasti.
Pasti. Jadi udah ada time management sejak dia masih kuliah di STIP. Ya.
Benar.
Jadi masih. Tadi kan dibilang harus melihat kalau mereka tidur berarti mereka kehilangan kesempatan untuk dengar subjek kuliah gitu ya. Motivasi harus tinggi dong berarti ya.
Yeah.
Untuk keep your eyes open gitu.
Betul.
Motivasi tinggi banget. Apa sih yang menjadikan motivasi paling tinggi waktu itu?
Uh,
Hanya sekedar pokoknya aku lulus, pokoknya aku ke Anthony Fader, pokoknya keliling dunia atau apa?
Karena saya mau menjadi yang terbaik.
Oh.
Itu motivasi.
Catat. Ya, jadi itu.
Iya.
Serius ya? Harus jadi yang terbaik. Dari zaman masih kecil dulu udah begitu.
Iya, karena saya termotivasi untuk ter-challenge untuk selalu berkompetisi.
Oh, oke. Itu dari orang tua atau diri sendiri atau gimana?
Ya mungkin yang ditularkan oleh orang tua, tetapi akhirnya menjadi naluriah sendiri akhirnya
Harus
semenjak
berprestasi.
kecil, betul.
Nggak ngalamin stres gitu?
Malah saya stres kalau saya tidak berprestasi.
Aduh, kalau seandainya ada 90% gitu yang seperti ini nih anak muda di Indonesia, mungkin ya semuanya akan baik-baik saja. Karena anak muda harus selalu siap untuk berprestasi, ya nggak?
Ya benar.
Ma-
Benar.
Hidup satu kali, muda satu kali, tua satu kali, kita hidup untuk hari ini. Itu kata Tulus dalam lagu. Jadi manfaatkan hari ini seoptimal mungkin gitu.
Right. Kalau saya mungkin agak sedikit berbeda dengan Tulus.
Oh gitu.
Kalau bagi saya di saat memang hidup sekali itu, jadikan hidup itu menjadi manfaat untuk orang lain.
Oke. Itu menurut Islam
Itu bagi
ya,
saya. Jadi dan juga dalam saya juga seperti itu. Jadi walaupun masih muda atau tua, dan memang harus bisa menjadi manfaat untuk orang lain, itu yang terpenting.
Itu manfaatnya apa namanya? Itulah esensi manusia ya. Jadi sebaik-baik manusia adalah yang bermanfaat buat orang lain.
Benar.
Gitu. Oke, bagus kan. Kalau waktu masih taruna itu mencoba untuk selalu berprestasi. Prestasi apa sih yang udah pernah dicapai selama jadi taruna?
Di Taruna itu alhamdulillah saya selama 8 semester itu selalu menjadi taruna dengan IPK tertinggi,
Selalu.
selalu.
Oke.
Dan pernah di beberapa semester kalau nggak salah juga yang kumulak 4.
Oh,
Itu yang menjadi prestasi tertinggi
pernah
saya.
4?
Pernah.
Wow, Masya Allah ya, hebat banget. Semua ngasih nilai A itu dosen.
Benar.
Oke, very good. Terus lagi, kenapa waktu itu baru tingkat 1 langsung bilang saya mau ikut Anthony Feeder gitu. Saya mau ke Anthony Feeder, bukan ke perusahaan. Kita banyak perusahaan waktu itu ya. Dari Eropa ada beberapa, ada juga yang dari Jepang beberapa gitu. Kenapa milihnya Anthony Feeder?
Karena ibu ngajak saya.
Jangan begitu, jadi gak enak saya.
Ya, karena memang diperkenalkan oleh Ibu Tis ini dulu di KSPKN, dan dia memperkenalkan saya dengan Anthony Feeder, salah satu perusahaan gas yang basisnya di Rotterdam. Dan pas dilihat juga, kita cari tahu memang ternyata memang perusahaan besar kan seperti itu. Ya mungkin belum sebesar sekarang ya dulu, tapi perusahaan yang memiliki suatu value yang kok sepertinya cocok nih dengan saya kan seperti itu. Dengan fundamentalnya itu ya honesty sebagai yang fundamental yang paling utama. Dan itu kan juga perusahaan worldwide, kapalnya sellingnya worldwide, dan itu perusahaan luar negeri. Dan ya salah satu juga alasan kenapa bersekolah di sini ya ingin mendapatkan employment dari luar kan seperti itu. Jadi memang itu memang pas cocok kebetulan kemarin.
Ya alhamdulillah gitu ya, cocok gitu, dan bisa sekarang bisa sudah keliling dunia gitu ya.
Ya alhamdulillah.
Kayaknya kalau kita survei kan sekitar 90% taruna yang masuk ke STIP kalau ditanya kenapa mau jadi pelaut, kenapa di STIP, pasti because I wanna travel around the world. Dan itu kayaknya udah kejadian sama Pak Angga gitu. Nah, untuk kenyamanan kita, tips lagi, strategi lagi untuk kenyamanan kita apabila kita menjadi pelaut international fleet, itu apa yang harus dipersiapkan, mentalnya itu apa?
Oh, yang pasti yang paling utama ya kemampuan berbahasa, itu yang paling penting sekali sekarang. Itu memang sudah dari dulu sampai dengan sekarang, even sampai dengan masa yang akan datang juga pasti akan selalu penting itu untuk kemampuan berbahasa. Itu yang terpenting. Jadi siapapun yang punya niat untuk ke luar negeri pada saat STIP itu ya wajib harus bisa berbahasa Inggris dengan baik. Itu paling terpenting. Jadi itu kan it's only the matter of practice mereka ke bahasa Inggris.
Correct.
It's only a matter of practice because basically English is not our language. So if we are making a mistake, it's fine.
No problem.
Why you need to ashamed when you make a mistake, because that's not our language. So just try, just practice, and then I believe that you are only getting better and better. So that's the first thing. And the second thing is also to ensure that you have the right mentality, the right mindset when you are going to be abroad. Because it's very important, because that's where you stand yourself as an Indonesian people, maybe towards other nationality. Maybe sometime you will be alone on board the ship as an Indonesians, while you are being surrounded by other nationalities, and then where exactly your mentality, your confidence level are really having a very important role on that. So yang pertama tadi adalah kemampuan berbahasa, dan yang kedua ya tadi untuk men-set up mental dan juga kepercayaan diri pada saat kita nanti
Jangan minder ya, sebagai orang Indonesia kita
Benar.
punya kemampuan yang sama ya dengan mereka orang-orang Eropa sekalipun.
benar.
Ya.
Ya karena sekarang saja sudah banyak master dari Indonesia dengan pengalaman LNG atau LPG yang mungkin kita bisa sama-sama saling di put head to head dengan master dari negara luar, dan saya yakin kita nggak kalah.
Aduh, senang banget. Jadi kita sudah mendapatkan motivasi dan positifnya apa sih menjadi pelaut itu dari Pak Angga, dan ternyata kesempatan untuk menjadi pelaut itu sangat terbuka, untuk luar negeri sangat terbuka. Kuncinya berbahasa Inggris, kemudian punya apalagi good behavior ya, good manner, punya positif hal-hal yang positif sehingga itu bisa diterima oleh orang lain gitu. Saya rasa mungkin di STIP ini sampai saat ini sih banyak sebetulnya ya taruna-taruna yang mempunyai jiwa seperti itu, kemampuan seperti itu. Hanya bagaimana si taruna sendiri punya motivasi ya.
Ya, saya yakin kok pasti banyak yang punya seperti itu. Yang penting ya tadi benar, motivasinya harus di set up right kan gitu. Ekspektasinya harus set up juga dengan right, dengan benar gitu. Jangan sampai ekspektasinya tinggi tetapi kemampuannya tidak bisa dilihat. Jadi memang harus selalu mengukur diri sendiri, refleksi diri sendiri. Tadi sekali lagi balik lagi kan, jangan pernah merasa puas, harus selalu membuat semua itu as a lesson learned dan selalu membuat yang namanya continual improvement. It's very important.
Satu lagi ya sebelum kita selesaikan, benar nggak sih kalau taruna itu seringkali kan mendengar gini, harus baik-baik sama senior, nanti kalian yang bantu senior juga, benar nggak sih kayak gitu?
Sebenarnya pastinya di saat di dunia pekerjaan itu pasti memang benar, itu benar, karena biar bagaimanapun juga bukan hanya senior tapi juga memang ke semua yang kalian juga pasti akan membantu. Tapi dengan alma mater jadi lebih dipermudah, itu memang yang saya alami sendiri pada saat di dunia pekerjaan. Jadi tapi kan tadi balik lagi, bukan hanya ke alma mater tapi ke semua orang pun kita harus respect. Mungkin lebih ke dengan alma mater kita harus respect. Baik lagi kan dengan attitude tadi sebenarnya kan. Bisa kita punya good attitude, saya yakin alma mater dari kita ataupun dari luar pasti juga akan bisa menghargai dan respect dengan apa yang kita punya.
Terima kasih ya.
Sama-sama.
Waktunya ini Pak Angga sudah lagi padat banget sebetulnya jadwal, untuk bisa menarik beliau ke sini sebetulnya agak-agak susah gitu ya. Waktunya very tight. Nah, saya nggak akan menyimpulkan apa yang sudah kita obrolin pada hari ini karena banyak banget hal yang sudah disampaikan oleh Pak Angga yang mungkin bisa menjadikan motivasi buat teman-teman semua yang ingin berprestasi. Semangat terus, tetap jadikan prestasi itu meraih prestasi tertinggi yang sebisa mungkin Anda bisa lakukan. Itu saja, sampai ketemu lagi di masa yang akan datang. Bye.
Terima kasih. Bye.